Hi, James. So good to be back at it. So we've got two fingerstyle patterns in 6/8 time. So for the first one, we'll have a look at House of the Rising Sun. Okay, so we won't worry too much about the chords now. We'll just focus on the pattern itself. So you're getting your thumb on whatever the bass note happens to be. So we were saying that for A minor and C, it's the fifth string. For D, it's the fourth string. For F, assuming you're playing it like this, it's the sixth. Then A minor, C, and then for E major as well, or E7, whichever, it's going to be the sixth. Okay, so other than that, then your four fingers can pretty much stay here the whole time, with the exception of D, and we'll get to that. So first finger on the fourth string, second finger on the third string, second finger on the second string, or third finger on the second string, fourth finger on the first. Okay, so just like that there. All right. So we're starting off, and that's one bar. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And so on and so forth. So then when you come down to the D, you kind of have to bring the whole thing down because you want to start on that D string. Now, you don't really have enough strings at this point to do the pattern properly, but what the Animals do in their version of it is they just repeat the E string now. And now that's what they do, and that's fine. You know, there's nothing wrong with it. But as a general rule of thumb, when you're finger picking like that, you tend to try to avoid hitting the same note twice in a row. It's just not as flowy, if you know what I mean, when you do that. So, but they do it anyway, so no big deal. So, C, there it is. So I wrote down in the notes there, if you start off at 120 BPM and then go up from there. So 120 BPM, if you put that on the metronome, let's just do that now. So 6. So like that kind of speed. So what that does is it forces you everything to be in proportion, nice and steady, and then you go up about maybe 5-10 BPM at a time. And your target for this one anyway is roughly 220 beats per minute. But just take it slow, one increment at a time. And just make sure all the while that it's steady. That's the most important thing. And when it comes to your arm again, just so make sure your arm is kind of stable so that your wrist is free to move, but it's you shouldn't be coming up off it for every note like that. It should be kind of small conservative movements. Kind of like that. So you never come too far away from the string that you're hitting. Okay, so we'll leave it at that then for House of the Rising Sun. So then Hallelujah, we didn't get too far into that now, but we just did the intro really. So we're capoing up on the 5th fret, and then we're doing G like this. Okay, kind of an Oasis G, I suppose you might say. So that's so just the regular way. Third finger goes up, little finger goes in and replaces it. So all we did so far, and we'll leave it at this then, is thumb 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 is the high one, okay? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Okay? And of course, generally, if you're not doing that kind of in-between bass note thing, if it doesn't involve that, then your 6th note can just be, this is just to make it more applicable to anything in 6/8. Your 6th note could just be another note back the way. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So instead of going back to the thumb for that 6th one, you can just go back another finger and make that your 6th note and then kind of cycle it that way. Okay, so I'll send you on the couple of bits and pieces as well, the Hallelujah chords, and see how far you get with it. All right, talk to you next time.